All right, my name is Noah Nielsen. I'm going into computer systems and development, data systems and development. Um, right now, my plans are to go for the associates, and then eventually I want to go on to get an associate's for networking, and then I want to go into network security in the long term.
I'm Peyton McClure from Paxton Buckley Loda High School. I am a second semester freshman in the Parkland Pathway program, majoring in agribusiness markets and management. And in the future, I would like to pursue a career in either agricultural sales or ag finance.
Hi, I'm Hannah Martinez. I'm from Centennial. My major is sports management, and right now I don't know where I'm going to transfer, but hopefully somewhere to continue playing soccer.
My name's Sean Higgins. I graduated from Tuscola High School. I am a major in electronic control systems technology, and I'm not sure what my plans for the future are just yet.
Hi, I'm Tafadza Diener, and I went to Urbana High School, and I am currently a theater major, and I will hopefully be attending U of I next semester studying theater.
Um, Honestly, most things that I wanted to know about Parkland were already told to me just through my counselors and through other people that I knew. One of the best things about it, for me personally, was it was relatively low cost, and for me, being one child out of six for my family, that was something that was really great.
I'm going to kind of piggyback off what Noah said. I think everything was communicated very well about Parkland College to me. However, I just wish I would have known how awesome the professors are here. And the professors that I've had so far, I've just built some really solid relationships with the professors that I've had. Just for example, like 20 minutes ago before I came here, I stopped by and talked to my business calculus professor from last semester. He and I have, grown pretty close, and just it's pretty awesome here. So I wish I kind of would have known that beforehand. I didn't expect that, but I guess I really didn't know what to expect. But it's pretty awesome.
So something kind of funny and small for me would kind of be textbooks. Every teacher kind of says that their textbook is required, but majority of them don't really use it. And unfortunately, you can't really get that money back. So waiting till that first day on syllabus day and asking, do you really use your textbook? And then going and buying it that day. So that's just something that you can kind of save a little bit of money on.
Yeah, I can't really say that I was actually surprised by anything. So most stuff was communicated pretty well by my counselor. I can't really think of anything for that question, unfortunately.
I agree with everyone else. I was pretty aware of what was going to happen and how things were going to work out, and yeah, it met my expectations. One thing I didn't know though is you're really like a sense of, well, at least in the theater department, we're a family, so you're really close knit. You get to know everyone you work with and professors and students, so that's really nice.
Well, Parkland has, for me, been pretty engaging. I've actually been able to pursue things that I'm more interested in. They have some nice clubs that I've enjoyed, like chess club. Just little things like that are pretty nice. They've got they got a few organizations that just help out here and there. And I think those little club activities and extra community activities are nice things that Parkland provides.
I really think that Parkland has a lot to offer. I think that there's lots of opportunities for leadership, which I think is a huge thing when you get to college. Leadership in clubs and other organizations here on campus. As I mentioned earlier, just the professors here are fantastic, and just getting to know them more, and they can really help you in the future. As you continue on through college and into your career as well. And just I think the class sizes are very beneficial as well. Whereas I took business calculus, and I would go into my professor's office hours every Tuesday, and it was just the grand majority of the semester, it was just him and I for an hour, and it was perfect. Whereas, I have a couple friends over at the University of Illinois, and who took business calculus there, and one of my buddies said, I went in to, talk to my business calculus professor there. There's already 15, 16 kids waiting for office hours. I can't even get in and get help. So I think that's just one thing that Parkland just is really good at, and it has a lot to offer through that. So.
And kind of going off what Peyton said, just kind of like the professors and how much they really care about you, and having that small class size like really shows that they really do care and everything and want you to succeed in life. And also like just the cost, just taking your gen eds here compared to like a bigger university, you're getting it for such a low cost, but having the same like, I don't know, the atmosphere here is just great because a lot of your friends from your local high schools will come here for 2 years. So still knowing people and having great professors really helped.
I'm with you guys. Definitely the teachers here are my favorite aspect of this school just because I've been in and out of a couple different programs, and I've never had a teacher who I didn't like, who wasn't like really passionate about their field. And the small class sizes also really help with having like a personal kind of almost friendship with teachers here. It's really nice.
I really appreciated how much experience that I've been able to get and practice while here. I've also enjoyed getting to work with other people who in the community who also, like I've had directors at U of I, like making connections with those people that will really help me in the future.
So one of the biggest challenges for me was I had a class that I did not expect would be quite as hard as it was. I had tried to just go through the class on my own, and it was extremely difficult. I had made it through the majority of the semester, and I realized that the grade for the class was not going to be a grade that I wanted to reflect on me personally. So I had to end up dropping the class. But when I went and I talked to the teacher about dropping the class, he said, "Hey, look, you put in the effort. You can stay for the rest of the class if you want to, even though you're not anymore a student in this class." And that alone was something that I really felt was a big help, even though it was a challenging situation for me.
I think one thing, sorry about that, one thing that really comes to mind when I think of challenges in college is balance, and prioritizing what, is important to you, whether it be education, relationships, or recreation. I think you really got to prioritize, what you're going to do with your time. Time management is key in college. You got to find time to study. You got to find time to exercise. You got to find time to hang out with other people and just build relationships. I think that's really important. And I think, first couple weeks, it was a little like, oh man, it was crazy. It was just like going 100 different directions, got to catch this bus, go back to the U of I, got to take this, it was insane. So just really prioritizing just, how you want to spend your time. I think that's been one of the most challenges. But like I said, once you get, into a routine, it's pretty nice and you get used to it. So.
For me, I would say it'd be time management as well. I had soccer season in the fall, and so I had it so I only had classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays were my homework days, but those were more of my nap days and Netflix days. So that didn't really work out too well, but towards the end of the semester when finals started and more papers and more homework piling on, just realizing that time is all you really have in college. And yeah, you have flexible because you choose your hours and you choose your days you want to go, but realizing that the time and hours you have open, you need to spend that time doing homework, because at the end of the night when it comes 9, 10 o'clock and you realize you haven't done anything, that's when it should have all been done by then. So just time management and being responsible and disciplined, just getting things done that need to be done on time.
For me, it was probably just determining what I wanted to do. Like, it took me a long time to find a major that I really enjoyed. And now I found it, so yeah, I guess that's really it. It's not a huge thing.
Mine is probably time management as well. being in theater, that takes up a lot of time, 6 to 10 every night, and then having a job, and then doing homework and going to class and all that. It's been pretty hard to keep sane, so that'd be it.
One thing that really sticks out to me is read the syllabus, follow the syllabus. It is your guidebook. It's really something that's different though than a lot of high schools. When I went to high school, the syllabus was vague. It had general rule ideas like, hey, don't chew gum in class or something like that. But it really didn't cover like, oh, hey, this assignment will be due this day. This assignment will be due this day. There's going to be a quiz on this day. It was very specific here in college. It's very specific on how much things are worth. It's really useful, and that can be a resource that's neglected if you're not checking it. So,
I think something that comes to mind when I think of that question, I think of three things. I think of educate, relate, and recreate. And that's what I would tell high school students, coming into college to do. Educate, you need to find time to study. That's really why you're here. You're here to get an education. You're here to learn more. It's very important, and the more you educate, the better you'll be off in the future. You need to relate. In my mind, when college, somebody told me one of the smartest things I've ever heard. In college, you need to approach college as the first 4 years of your career, or first 2 years of your career. You need to take it serious. You need to build relationships and build up a network of solid individuals, like-minded, just like you, who care about what they're going to do after college, and getting the leadership and just build the necessary relationships to helping you and other people successful in the future. And finally, recreate. I mean, just in terms of staying sane and being able to relax, find time to recreate, whether it's going to Mary Ann's and getting a milkshake, or it's going to the rec center and playing hoops for an hour or so, or as I like to do, get up every morning at 6:30 and go lift weights. So just you got to find time to educate, relate, and recreate.
Don't take at 8 a.m. Everyone will say, get it done, but do not take an 8 a.m. It's just way too early, and you will want that sleep from the homework that you didn't do all during the day that you stay up all night for. Unless you're a morning person like Peyton, 6:30 a.m., but just don't get up early. But also just stay connected. Do things in your college. Obviously, like if you don't play a sport or not in a club, it's hard to kind of meet people just because your classes are so quick and then you're on to your next one. So get in a club, get in an organization, do something, stay active, stay moving, but yeah, just don't take an 8 a.m.
Best advice I could give is to take your classes seriously here, because you're paying to be here. There's really no reason to blow stuff off and put it off till later. Just do the work and pass the class.
I'd say be focused, be present, take advantage of all the opportunities you're given, and have fun. But do your work.
well, my parents at this point had sent three of my sisters into or through college, so they were familiar with the idea of sending kids to college. They had made a deal with them to cover 2/3 of their expenses, and they made that same deal with me, which was really, really nice. On top of that, they also covered books for us. This semester, I had to cover my own books, but they said when money comes available, they'll try to get me back for that, and just that alone, it takes time away from me having to spend doing extra work on things. So really, if parents are able to just put in a little bit of extra for their child's education, then that's really helpful.
One thing I would recommend is creating helping your child or your student create a personal monthly budget. We get to college and money is tight. I mean, and there's all sorts of entertainment. You want to go out time and have a good time with your buddies, watching movies or going out to eat. But I think just creating a monthly budget and knowing where your money is going, and just having an idea of what you're going to spend your money on and how much money you're going to spend on a monthly basis is just very important. How many Dave Ramsey fans do I have in here? Yes, Financial PCU. That's where it's at. All right. So just financial security and a personal monthly budget, I think, is a great tool to have. So.
I would say if they're living at home, just kind of talk to them before college and like giving them space and freedom. You want them to have that college experience, but yet they're still living under your roof. So you can just talk to them about, what are some things that you want me to lay off on? But obviously I'm still your parent, so I'm going to protect you and make sure you're safe. But just letting them know that they still have that freedom, even though they might be under your roof. That's something that college students are wanting if they haven't had that before. And just talking to them, obviously, about money because it's tight. Knowing that, yeah, you're in college, but you just can't spend everything. You need to look down the road because when you come out of college, there's a lot of debt, not just with schooling, but you're going to have to start paying for your own car, your own phone, insurance, just like little things that you don't really think about while you're in college, but kind of helps like having that parental guidance and just letting you know that you still have freedom to do what you want.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Peyton on that as well, that helping your child figure out what budgeting is and how to distribute their money responsibly is definitely a very important skill to have in college, especially with less free time and all that stuff to work.
I'd say having good communication with your child as well, making sure you're aware of like what they're doing, but not too involved where you're just doing it all for them, still like helping them be independent, things like that.
Well, for me, I would say it's all finance, but it's really not. I want to go into computer programming for now as my primary thing because I just find it interesting. I want to spend time figuring out how things work, and then I want to make them work. I feel like a lot of engineering students share the same kinds of ideas with me there. I think that once you really set yourself with a purpose, then you can pursue just about anything that goes along with that purpose. So, yeah.
I think one thing that really has kept me focused just throughout the first semester and a half is just that one word, and one word, and that word is grind. It's all about the grind. You got to embrace the grind. It's getting up at 6:30 in the morning, and it's going to bed at midnight studying for that exam. You're staying up late studying for that exam. You got to do whatever it takes, and it's just that that constant grittiness, competitiveness, and willingness to get the job done is just what it takes. And so that's what I think of, and that's what keeps me focused and motivated on a day-to-day basis. So
I think for me, it all kind of started with my family. I've seen what they've done and what they've given to me, and I want to be able to give that back to my kids and my family one day, hopefully. And just something that your major is something that you are passionate and like love and you want to do and you want to help others. And I think with mine, it just motivates me because I want to be, everyone wants to be the best. Everyone wants to be successful. And I don't want to just have a job. I want to be the best in my job. I want others to look up to me and want to know, what did you do to get here? So I just think having that in the back of my mind and that determination has just kind of helped me throughout my classes and throughout my everyday life, just getting through and pushing through and realizing that you have to be the best if you want to work hard and do stuff.
Caffeine, definitely. It's a big factor there and focus. But other than that, I really enjoy the field that I'm in, so I don't generally have days where I feel like I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it. I know that I really like it, so.
Yeah, money is like a really scary thing to think about, like and like financial stability in my major. So, but being able to like experience it and be on stage and do all that stuff really helps me realize that what I'm doing is what I'm passionate about and what I want to do, and I can't see myself doing anything else. So that helps me stay focused on it.
So I live in Mahomet, which isn't too far away from here. I mean, it's just, rock throwing, well, it's further than that. It's a few miles. But It's a few minutes drive, which generally isn't too bad. It's about 13 minutes, so that's not awful. Although I should probably be going a little bit slower, but country roads. So it's not that bad. I have been late to a class before, but generally, as long as I try to stick to my schedule of get up, take a shower, get in the car, and go, put on clothes sometime in between there, then I'm generally on school at school on time. So yep.
I live over in Urbana on the U of I campus at a cooperative agricultural fraternity called Neighbor House. One of the best decisions I have ever made. Absolutely love living there. Just built some great relationships. I do not have a car currently. My brother, I have to share it with my younger brother who's using it back home. But I mean, I seriously doubt that it'd make it to Champaign and back. It's had its fair share of problems. I take the bus across town every day. Don't mind it at all. I mean, I like reading. I like listening to talk radio. If you guys couldn't tell, my Dave Ramsey fans. But it ain't bad. It's about 30 to 40 minutes. Catch the bus. It's relatively simple. So yeah.
I actually live here in Champaign, just about 5 minutes away, so I have a short little drive. But living at home my first year was something that my parents and I decided for budget reasons, just trying to save money. Since I do play soccer, all the athletes here at Parkland, typically all of them live at Parkland Point Apartments, and so that's where I will be living next year. Kind of a little bit closer, but I live pretty close, so it's kind of nice. So just living at home kind of saves money. Makes you realize that when you start to move away that you're going to have to start making your own food and your mom's not going to do your laundry or pay for a lot of stuff. So that's kind of hard, but it kind of makes you be more thankful and realize that money just doesn't really grow on trees. So.
I live over in Savoy in a student living apartment, so the commute's not that bad, but I do like that I live in student living because we all kind of share the same goals, so it's a nice community to study in and that kind of thing.
I live in Urbana. It's about a 20-minute drive. I usually have to make the trip like 2 times a day at different times in the day, but I've saved a lot of money living with my parents too, so